Friday. It's Rich from richwellington.com on the Transformative Sales Podcast, and I'm joined by the ever-gorgeous Hannah Chan. Say hello, Hannah.
Hello, Rich. It's so nice to be here with you today.
We're in really good energy. Hannah and I have, just spent the last sort of 20, 30 minutes having a real good chat, before we got the red light flashing on this one. And I'm really excited for Hannah to just share her energy, what she's all about, what she's doing in the world. We share very, very similar energies. What's the word I'm looking for? Find the word for me. Find the word. What's that? I've gone absolutely mind blank.
The outlook, mindset, all of that.
Yes, exactly. On what needs to be done in business, what we do in life. So I'm honoured, to be here with you and for you to share your authentic self and what you think, people should be doing inside the business. So I'm going to put the microphone down for a second, and I'd really love you to, share with everybody like who you are, where you're from, what you're doing, what is it that, you wake up every day to do and serve the world with.
I'll try not to go into a massive tangent about my entire life story here. But, okay, so I grew up in Hong Kong, and for me, the entire life, I thought, okay, climb up the corporate ladder, get a good job, be a director, be CEO, blah, blah, blah. That's the way I was taught in life. Work 9 to 5 for the rest of my life for someone else. And so I didn't think of it much. So I graduated I actually moved to England for university, graduated a few years ago, and then started working as a headhunter. Didn't think of it much. And then recently, so this was actually last year, I was with my boyfriend and we were just talking. We were like, okay, is this really what we want to do in life? The thought of working for someone else for the rest of our lives is depressing. And so, of course, for me, I always thought that was the only way. I thought it was too good to be true to get out of. My boyfriend was completely different. And he was actually the one who inspired us to just basically go on this epic journey together. So I was a fitness coach because I was also competing in powerlifting. So fitness coaching was so close to me, and I knew all the stuff. I was good at doing that. But there was a massive problem, and that was I couldn't get clients.
Big problem. And FYI, the powerlifting thing, definitely recommend go and add Hannah on Facebook and stuff. And you're on Instagram as well, right?
Yeah.
She's got her quads are amazing. You can tell she deadlifts as well too. Her hamstrings are nuts.
Well, actually, most people say that my quads are way bigger than my hamstrings. So that's like the first compliment I've gotten about my hamstrings, which is good. Yeah, I've been doing powerlifting for 5 years, just on the side, competing as well for GB. And then on the fitness coaching side, my dream was to quit my corporate job as a headhunter who was like, it was a decent job. I wouldn't say I fucking hated it, but it was a bit underpaid, overworked type of thing to be a full-time online fitness coach. The massive problem was I couldn't get any clients coming my way. And the ones that would come in my DMs, be like, hey, so tell me more about your coaching, or so what are your rates? I tell them, and at the time, I think a lot of fitness coaches are very, we tend to be so unsure about our worth and how much we charge. So we end up undercharging anyway, tell people our rates, and they just go, I'll think about it. And you never hear from them again. So that was my life in a nutshell a few years ago. And I was thinking, I'm probably never going to make this work. How am I going to get enough clients to even hit 2K if I'm charging £50 a month and I only have 3 clients? So I really started looking into things like the business side and how to actually build up a fitness coaching business. And a lot of people out there, I think that we need to have 100K followers, or we need to have these amazing bodies and be posting gym selfies all the time, and things like that. And then I stumbled upon the basically high ticket coaching world. And I was like, wait, what? There are people charging over £1,000 for fitness. And I just
It's that funny moment, right? Because I had the same realization, going back a few years, and we were selling, fitness classes for, like, at one point in time when we first started, a few towns back, £2.75, for a fitness class, right? Right. We've all been there on the lower side of things and charging per hour. So what was the general emotion that when you saw that people were charging like thousands of pounds for something online where they didn't even have to be present? What was like the...
You know what? I'm so glad you asked this question, because my exact emotion was, what greedy, scamming assholes.
I was hysterical. Yeah. I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. I was like, I'm pretty good at selling. I'm pretty sure I could charge that amount, right?
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, like, we can absolutely talk about this later on, the whole like money mindset thing and self-belief. But for me, I was like, there are people charging this much for a macro plan and a training spreadsheet, and I can't even get clients paying me £50. What the fuck? And it was insane, because part of me felt like it just opened my eyes up to so much, but another part of me felt resentful. Like, what is it that these fitness coaches have that I don't have?
Yeah.
And why can they get clients paying? Why can they be scamming people almost to get this sort of money when it's not worth that much? And of course, the more I looked into it, the more I thought, okay, so charging higher ticket isn't just being a greedy asshole. It isn't being a greedy asshole at all, because it's for the client's benefit too. And for just the nature of the relationship is so much better. And that's like a whole other topic. But that's when it really opened my eyes up to the possibility that you could be charging that much. And also, you don't need 100K followers on Instagram. You don't need half naked pictures of yourself on Instagram. You don't need like a crazy following to be building a actual profitable online fitness coaching business. So the more I implemented, and I'm not going to lie, it was difficult in the beginning. But then after a while, I thought, okay, like, I'm really good at this. And I see that it's a major struggle in the fitness industry. And part of what got me to do what I'm doing now, which is basically marketing and sales coaching for fitness coaches, to teach them how to build a profitable online business, mainly selling high ticket and getting clients, is that I saw a lot of fitness coaches were amazing at sales, but not so good at coaching. And so a lot of people, having been in the fitness industry, would come out of a program being, how do you say it, like completely trashed by 1,000-calorie programs and things like that. And I wanted to help the fitness coaches that had the knowledge, like myself, had the scientific knowledge on how to coach, but did not have the marketing side down on how to actually get clients, and then help them build a business and do that justice. And that's why for me, like, I personally don't, like, I work with service-based fitness coaches and not so much multi-level marketers, because I personally don't believe too much in recruiting people and selling just shakes and products as a means of losing weight.
Great. Got it. She's got ethics and principles and good feelings. I like it. Awesome. So how long did you have like Hannah Chan Fitness for then? And are you still running that, by the way?
So the fitness side, I'm actually not running anymore, because for me, I think it's like my passion just slowly transitioned from fitness coaching, and that's always going to be a big part of my life. But I didn't want to be fitness coaching and coaching what I'm doing now at the same time. And for me, it was out of integrity for me to be continuing on to do fitness coaching if, for me, I was anything less than super excited about it.
Yeah, got it. And it's what I found is, and Sam Ovens, we brought Sam Ovens up in, our conversation just before we went red light, talks about this evolution, of a consultant. And I guess this is like a natural evolution that I see all the time in the fitness industry as well, is, we're there actually doing the work in person with people, they're done for you. And then we transition into still do a bit of done for you, but it's a higher price. And then we have things that are automated and stuff. And then there's a natural evolution in consciousness as well, in terms of knowing what you can actually deliver to the world. So you go from being the personal trainer that's just helping one person and then their immediate family from their benefits that they get, to all of a sudden, if you can help other coaches that then go out and help more people, which help their people, all of a sudden you're like a higher beacon of light, you know, that's able to, you know, push out into the world even further. So great evolution. So where, and I'm jumping ahead perhaps, you know, in terms of where this conversation is going, but what do you feel like would be a natural transition or evolution for you next after you feel like you've personally either mastered being like a, you know, fitness business coach, marketing coach, or you've got to the point of where you're like, my energy sits somewhere else, or have you already had these thoughts?
So yeah, I've had these thoughts in terms of, in the long term, how I would scale up. So I think I'll probably always have my one-on-one practice, but as things progress, that will probably get more exclusive, and I'll probably be helping people, fitness coaches that are later on in their careers, to really scale up and blow things up and amplify things, as opposed to those that are really starting more from the ground up. And then probably transition to being able to help more people. So that would probably be running group programs on a proper start and end date, and then eventually progress so I can serve more people, of course, and then eventually progress onto even putting out courses, because by then I'd have a lot of feedback on the group programs and my one-on-one, so I know exactly what needs to go in each course. And that way it can even basically help even more people in the world. But I think that's the evolution, or that's the long-term path that I'm going to take, from always having my one-on-one practice to focusing more on group training, group coaching, so I can basically serve a lot more people at once, to doing almost a online course group coaching hybrid, where they go through the online course materials and then we'd have weekly group coaching sessions.
Great. That's exciting.
Yeah.
World, watch out. Here she comes. Great stuff. And how about, you know, I'm getting essence of you've been, you know, good at speaking and things like that, and maybe even, I don't know, bringing out a book or something of that nature. I don't know, like, that's just the sort of energy I'm getting from you. I don't know if you've thought about doing those sorts of things too.
You know what? It's so funny, because when you contacted me about doing this podcast, literally, I was thinking, I am going to start a podcast for 2019.
Yeah, so do it.
On that now.
Yeah, honestly, and I have to pay, you know, kudos to, you know, my now friend, and I looked after him with his LinkedIn and his sales coaching, but a chap called Simon Mitchell, who runs Iron Paradise Fitness, and he's a bit of a marketing guru in his own business. And I've very much learned a lot about the podcasting side of things. He's run his for a couple of years. So if I'm you know, spraying names around on this recording, then yeah, Simon is a great guy. So thank him for, you know, giving me the kick up the ass to do this. And I would definitely, anyone else listening to this too, you know, go and have a chat with Simon. He might be able to just, you know, give you that little bit of a flip. But I'm sure we've got lots of people as well that are listening that would be able to give you some great tips as well. Yeah, great. So what is it that is different about what you do with people in comparison to, I don't know, like, I'm not going to say it's a saturated market, because that's a fucking stupid thing to say, you know, like fitness business coaching, because it's not, because 99.9% of the time people are investing into you as an individual, you know, and your energy. But what actually makes what you do and who you are different to maybe, you know, someone that's looking at maybe 3 or 4 others?
So, you know what, I love that you asked this. So as you said, most people always have this idea, like in fitness, oh, it's a saturated market, who's going to buy into me and things like that. But people buy into you for your energy and who you are, and because they see themselves in you and they want to be you and live the life that you live. And it's not so much like people are buying into a specific coach for like some information in itself. They're buying into that specific coach for their energy and their personality and the life that they live, which is such a key missing piece that I see a lot of coaches make, is that they can be saying the right things and doing the perfect XYZ strategies, but they're missing that key piece, which is really being the embodied example of what their clients want to be, and also showing the life that they're living and really owning that.
Mm.
So for me, I tend to always attract in people, like I show up in a way that is just authentically me. Sometimes I'm a bit weird, and it's just going to attract people who really resonate with that and who can relate. And just
you're a 10 out of 10 weird.
10 out of 10.
Hey, I am too, right? Why do you think I asked that question on my little questionnaire? Like, I'm, you know, as bizarre as they come, in all honesty.
Yeah, like 10 out of 10 weird. Maybe I do weird things, like I bite into my ice creams instead of licking it, and apparently that is weird. I don't think that's weird.
I just can't do it because of my gap. I've got a little bit of a gap. So when I was younger, it was a little bit wider, you know, until my jaw grew in. So I couldn't bite into ice cream because it just used to make my face tingle. So I respect people that can bite into ice cream. I think it's hardcore.
Yeah, it's so funny because I think when it comes to marketing ourselves, part of how to make yourself really like sexy and bold and sellable is showing your weird, unique side. But so many of us suppress it because growing up, maybe we've been made fun of for our weird things, or just like we've been judged and told we shouldn't do certain things. And so try to repress ourselves to be what we think other people want to see.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the processes that I always take everybody through, no matter what, you know, what context they come to work with me in, is, well, I recently just put up my new methodology, which I've, again, accumulated, you know, I won't say it's like over the last fucking 9 to 12 months. It's basically been, you know, 30 plus years of existing on Earth. You know, I've come up with this concept. But the first thing is communicate, right? Mm. So this loops back into, you know, what you were just talking about, you know, coming to terms with who you are. So if you're not communicating inwardly effectively with yourself, so if you're not telling yourself positive things, then the chances of you being able to communicate outwardly they're like slim to none. Yeah. So one of the things that I do with people is to get them to, you know, powerfully share something that they've probably never shared with anybody before. You know, they only keep it internal. They have this poor internal dialogue about whatever that thing might be. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is. And I find after people have shared that, whether that's with me or someone else that's, you know, super important in their life, it almost gives them like permission then to just start talking about it more, and they just naturally become better communicators, at least, even if it's just marginally, which then helps them to connect better with people and, you know, be better business people and just better people overall. What's something that you always do with people to help, you know, with that initial process, like you say, of stopping this oppression and, you know, getting people to be their authentic selves?
So something that I do with my clients, and I think this is quite important because a lot of courses that you see outside, and this is also how we've been programmed to think as well, is that it's all about doing and finding the perfect strategy and finding the perfect XYZ exact thing, like exact formula to follow that's got like some proven system to work. And a lot of my clients that come to me, they've actually been through quite a few courses. They know the things, but they're still not getting results and success that they want to see. And it's partly because people tend to neglect the inner work that needs to be done, like the mindset work. And that is so, so important to actually see results. People think it's all about implementing and sitting behind the laptop for 10 hours and doing stuff. But people tend to neglect the fact that you need to really reflect and do the inner work and the mindset work and work on self-belief, because a lot of people have those limiting beliefs, whether it's around money, like charging what they're worth. It's about like, oh, I don't think I'll ever get clients, blah, 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 like comparing. So what I like to do a lot of the time is give them some prompts to really write down and journal out, and that helps them get the ideas flowing and the creativity flowing. So they really end up knowing and writing down exactly who they need to be to get to that next level, and what would that next level self do, and then how they can start really embodying that next level, which is what's going to actually get there. Because a lot of the time, say people want to scale up from like even just earning 1K per month in their fitness coaching business, and they want to get to 5K. But then the 1K version of a fitness coach will operate in a completely different way from like the 5K or the 10K. So something that I get my clients to think is, if you were already there, if you were already like smashing your goals, and if you had achieved everything that you set out to already, how would that higher version of yourself operate and think? And how can you start incorporating those things into your current business and what you're currently doing now? And
great. Yeah, great. Exactly. So and again, to give you some real world context, for those that are maybe struggling to attach to what Hannah's exactly saying. So like when I was in the military, or like when we had the shops and I had people come in and I'd train them on the IT and how to fix and stuff. Like in the military, we'd stick sergeant badges on people, okay, and rank size on them, even though they were maybe a rank or two below, and we'd give them the responsibilities of someone that's 2 or 3 ranks above. So that's exactly what Hannah's saying. Like, if you want to grow to that next place, what is that person doing exactly? What are the daily actions? What are the daily routines? What are the business tactics, the business strategies? What are their marketing ploys? What are they doing to actually gain that extra business? Just be inside their life every day. So love it. Like,
how can they start showing up as that higher version of themselves now already? Because a lot of the time, one of this massive mental barrier that people have is really showing up on Instagram and Facebook and really speaking their voice and speaking their bold truth and really owning it without shame and being confident. And as a fitness coach, like, that's what their clients would want to buy into. They want to buy into someone who's bold, who's living the life that they want, and who basically speaks their truth. And that's what a leader does, right? They speak their truth, even though it's opinionated, because leaders have strong opinions that they're not afraid to share, that polarize their audience. And I was just telling my other client the other day, she felt really lost on what to say because she had this amazing message, but she was afraid to share it because she was also a Christian, and her message was that moms and women they deserve to feel sexy and they're allowed to feel sexy and good in their bodies. But she was afraid of getting judged because of that, because she came from a very Christian background where a lot of people she knew were Christians, and she didn't want them to look at it the wrong way or basically be judged. And I was like, okay, if like the 10K version of yourself, what would she be doing? Would she be afraid of what a few people thought? If she knew that clients were effortlessly coming in, probably wouldn't be afraid of sharing and speaking her truth. So sometimes you need to step into that next level of yourself and think, how would that person be showing up in business? And then operate from that standpoint.
Exactly. So what are some, we're talking about fear for a second and just isolating that one thing. What would you, if someone was listening to this or watching this, so it's going to be on the YouTube as well, what would be a great fear exercise or a fear practice that you would encourage someone to go and do to get themselves away from that, like, dusty, covered up, I don't want to go out in the world and be myself? What would you say to that person?
Okay, so I think that's such a good topic, because most people, especially when they invest in themselves, invest in a coach to get them to the next level, is fucking scary. And that's always how I felt when I invested in myself. Oh, it's so scary. It's such a big chunk of money. What if I don't get the results? So something that I like to think, especially when it comes to that, is what is the worst thing that can happen? And it's probably not as bad as people make it out to be in their heads. And then balance it out with, but what if it does happen? Because a lot of the time we're always thinking about, well, what if it fails? What if it doesn't work? What if, like, the worst thing? But it's up to us which perspective we want to look at things and which perspective we want to focus on. So people tend to think about, well, what if it doesn't work? But what if it does work? But what if we went into this thinking 100% that it does work and it will work? What are the positives and what are the potential failures? And how do those balance out? So, for example, take investing in even an online course or a coach, right? People tend to think, oh, I'm scared because I could lose all my money. But what about the upside? What about if you knew 100% that you were meant for success? Then, you know, you're balancing out some money, which is a large amount, which it's not like money is a resource that can run out. Like you can always make more and it always comes back. So you're balancing out a financial investment, which you lose in the short term, versus the potential for something to actually get you where you want to be in life.
Yeah.
So say it's an online course for 1,000, 2,000. So downside, you lose all that money and then you make it back in your job and you learn something from the course. Upside, the course helps you fucking quit your job and make loads of money. Down to people to really choose. Do you get what I mean? Like which one they want to focus on.
Of course. Absolutely. Whatever you focus on, you always get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, so one of just to flip and use myself as an example, I've never been afraid of failure. I've always had the fear of shit. What if this just goes so massive and I can't keep up with the pace of it? Right? That's always been the fear rather than the failure. So what would you say to that person?
You mean the good problem to fear almost?
Exactly.
I would say that if you're fearing a problem, that's a good problem to have. Then it's once again a matter of perspective. So there are always 110 reasons that you can find to say no, even if it's something like, oh, I'm scared that this course will help me make 6 figures and then I won't be able to know what to do with the money. In a mindset in which you're trying to find so many reasons why it won't work. And even the reasons that you think will work are going to be masked by the reasons why it won't, such as I'm scared this course is going to help me make 6 figures and then shit's going to blow up and I'm going to fail. Then people with that mindset, it's not productive because it's not down to the coach or the course or the program. It's down to that individual and the way they see it. So a lot of the time, we also tend to like to blame external circumstances apart from, and not actually do the inner work and reflect on how we can be better. And this was so me. In the beginning, I was caught in this massive victim mindset. Like, oh, why am I getting clients? Why are the people I'm attracting so broke? Why does no one want to pay me? Why am I not getting more Instagram followers? And we can choose to stay in that mindset of self-pity, or we can choose to reflect and really take responsibility of our failures and success. Mm-hmm. But it's not until we do that we can actually reflect and then come up with a plan to actually move on.
Mm-hmm. Got it. I'm going to call this out here while I'm seeing this unfold and I'm watching what's going on in Hannah's eyes, right? And I'm listening to her voice and her energy. Hannah will not remain a fitness business coach. You won't. I can just smell it. Yeah. You won't. You'll move on to other things, right? You'll get really great at this, but the way you talk and the way you communicate, you're probably like broader, like life coaching or something of that nature. I think that's like what really pours out of you. I think you're really great at the business side of things, you know, the marketing, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm weird. Like I'm just calling it out as I'm seeing it. And I don't know if you've felt this yourself and you've got a higher calling, but I can definitely see something else because you're only a young woman, and I take that with respect, right? Because you're what, 24?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 24 right now. So, you know, you've definitely got the head of someone a lot older. You don't look older though, so just she looks great. If you're only listening to this, you know Hannah looks fantastic, and that's obviously a hat tip to British powerlifting. And make sure you do your powerlifting, people, and eat good foods and stuff. But as I'm watching Hannah talk and the way she communicates, there's something else going on that I believe I'm going to call it out like a Gary V prediction. I'm going to say Hannah's going to like evolve into something pretty big.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think we all tend to evolve and do things in a few years that we would never have guessed.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a weird one. Like, and so it'd be a couple of years back now, and I was looking after a Fit Pro in one of the groups, that I was manning. And I used to listen to this young woman talk, and I was like, fitness coach is just not your jam. I was just sick. I was sick of not telling her one day. And I just said, it's like you just need to fuck off to India and like become a yogi or something like that. Right. And just do something like, and she was just like, I've got India on my wall and I want to go and be a yogi. I just fucking called it. And that's what she went and did. She quit the fitness industry. She went and traveled India, and now she's just going around the world, just like making handmade jewelry and just going into all these villages and stuff. And that's like that. That's what, lights her up. I could just, you could just smell it and see it on somebody. But anyway, we're going off on a weird tangent now. I'm 10 out of 10 weird, just like you. I don't wear flip-flops in the shower though. Hannah told me that she wears flip-flops when she showers.
Yeah, honestly, I've been doing that for ages. It's I don't know when I started doing that or why. I think it's because I don't like wearing flip-flops in the house. I don't like walking in the house without wearing anything. And so I just tend to go in the shower with my flip-flops anyway.
Yeah, got it.
It's weird.
It's not weird. It's not weird. So I went and did the Spain workshop event. So I got invited to be a speaker over in Spain. Travelled over there. It's amazing. I'm very grateful to Remote Fit Pro for inviting me over, and spoke alongside Ben Coomber and those guys. Yeah. And when I went on to speak, I took my shoes and my socks off. It just felt right. When you're just like, this just feels right. I just need to get grounded right now. And I'm in front of all these people. And I could see everyone going like, who's this weird, massive guy with no shoes and socks on? So I like being barefoot, not wearing anything on my feet like most of the time. So I've got like frodo feet.
Feeling grounded and close to nature.
Yes. Yeah, that's the country boy coming out in me, you see. Apart from I'm not very good at doing the dog poo pickup on the front and back lawn, so I wouldn't go barefoot in my own garden. That's the truth. So it'd probably get a bit squelchy. So apart from the flip-flop thing, any other weird things that we should know about Hannah Chan?
Oh my gosh. See, so many weird things. Okay, so I don't know if this is weird. I think it might just be a cultural thing, but I cannot stand going into my bed with clothes that I've worn outside. Is that weird? Not that weird.
No, I know people like that. But again, I guess like I'm a bloke, so I've got a different. Maybe a lot of women are like that. Maybe they like to like feel showered and in pajamas and and like slide into the bed and feel all fresh. Whereas I'd quite happily, as a blokey bloke, just like jeans on, socks on, get into bed, away you go.
I think this might be like a cultural thing, but in Hong Kong or like at least in Asia, you don't go into the house with your shoes on, because you've walked outside in your shoes and then you're going in the house and then you just walk all over the house with your outside shoes. And so when I moved to the UK, people started doing that and I was just like, what are you doing? Take your fucking shoes off.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. And then even when, like, I cannot stand putting anything on my bed and anything touching my bed that's not pajamas or clean. Like, my boyfriend will put the suitcase on the bed and I'd freak out. I'd be like, no, get it off. Like, suitcase can't. I don't understand. It's so relaxed.
I like it. No, I like things like that. I like ritualistic, routine-based things like that. And to give Hannah a bit of context. I don't know how much you know about me, but I didn't have much stability, sort of growing up. So as I've got into my later years, as an adult and business owner and, as a father and stuff, I've definitely tried to learn how to be a man, what a man is, and, you know, instill some stability into my life. So now I always look in at, like, you know, the way different cultures do things. You know, I'm genuinely intrigued by different cultures and religions and things like that. You know, and try and take away all the, what I consider personally to be the good parts that I can use. So
show yesterday about different cultures, and there's this culture that for fun like to hang hooks into their skin, their back, and then suspend themselves on the, like, with those hooks, and then they'd be held by hooks through their skin.
Sounds fun.
Like
not.
But isn't it crazy how different cultures have different norms?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love. You know, I personally wouldn't hang myself by hooks. I'm a pleasure seeker, not a pain seeker. So I don't like to be smacked around or anything like that. You know, I like hugs and kisses and, you know, the soft stuff. Without giving too much away, people. Right? We like to share. Where was I? I've totally thrown myself off my own line of questioning there. But yeah, the cultural side of things, the other thing that I find personally really intriguing is accents. And I don't know how much, because I obviously can't hear myself so much until I actually listen back to audio and video. And then obviously I get, you know, friends and family making funny comments. But you know, like the Yorkshire accent, for example, I don't know how much of a northern accent I've got right now. And whether it comes on a bit thicker at certain points and certain words that I say. I lost a little bit of it when I was in the military, because you're just, you know, blended in with everybody else. So you get this universal sort of accent. Do you have a favorite accent or a favorite, you know, part of the world that you just love to listen to people's voices from?
Oh yeah, that's crazy. So you know what? I'd say yours is definitely a bit northern. Yeah.
I'm definitely, like, when I speak to other people that are not from Yorkshire, it's definitely, it gets dulled down loads. But if you heard me talking to my neighbours, and if I go out into town and buy stuff, oh, buy a car, lad, yes. Proper from Yorkshire and that, aye, off down road to get some dinner, aye. Proper farmer.
Crazy. It's like, for me, it's so weird because I grew up in Hong Kong. I was speaking English there, and then moved to the UK. And then everyone here thinks I sound American, but in America, people think I sound British. I really like listening to, like, Australian accent. I think that's interesting. Australian.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I love the Australian accent. And Irish is another favourite of mine.
Oh, really?
Quite like the Irish accent. Yeah, I do. And then there's certain parts of America that I really just thrive on listening to, like the real deep southern parts. You know, your Texans and your Alabamas, your Mississippis, you know, and places like that where they talk real slow and real gentle, and everything's quite eloquent the way they put things together. You know, I quite like that, compared to if you talk to, like, someone in New York, very fast, and it's very fast paced, and they just want to get to the point. It's very punchy. You know, I just love how there's only a few hundred miles between people, but the way we do everything so differently, it just fascinates me massively. So tell us a little bit about your hobbies. So when you're not being a total badass and influencing people online, and, you know, doing your one-to-one coaching and all that amazing stuff, what do you do in your spare time?
When I'm not being a badass influencing people, I'm probably being a badass in the gym powerlifting.
Boom.
Powerlifting for me was when it all started. And it's crazy because in Hong Kong, I was 16, 17, and I was just drinking a shitload, underage drinking, probably doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing. And I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna never do sports. I'm never gonna be like a sporty type of person. I got to uni and then got to powerlifting, and then ended up competing for years at super high levels. And looking back, this is kind of what you spoke about in terms of just the evolution and how people grow. You end up doing things that you never even imagined you'd do and never thought it'd be possible for you. So powerlifting has been a massive part of my life for 6-7 years now. And
awesome.
yeah, I mean, it's crazy because you go to the gym and then you're basically training to get super strong. And I always say, like, yeah, I can squat 140 kilos, but I can't hold an umbrella in the wind.
Awesome.
Lifting, eating loads of food, and Netflix.
Awesome. You know what? Like the majority of people that I talk to that really thrive on, you know, helping other people live a very simplistic lifestyle. Very, very simplistic, because most of I'm very much the same, you know, like I don't do a great deal outside of just having the energy to want to help other people. Obviously, I've got a family that I look after and nurture, and I've got friendships, but not lots of like people that I spend a lot of, you know, like one-to-one time with. But then hobbies, you know, include, you know, I've got like my guitars up here up on the wall. I need to probably spend more time playing, in all honesty, but since we moved house, I've just not had the time. But then when I, you know, talk to, you know, men, ladies like yourself, men and women, just, what do you do? Well, you know, I do this and this, and that's pretty much it. You know, live a pretty stoic type lifestyle, and just, I'm very focused on, you know, getting to my goals and, you know, just achieving, you know, not just for yourself, but also for other people as well.
Yeah, I'm always thinking, whenever people ask me what my hobbies are, I always almost feel a bit bad that I can't list out 5 hobbies that are super interesting and unique.
Yeah, don't feel bad about that. I feel, right, I'm going to put it out here right now. Okay, it's just come to me. I feel like sometimes people find hobbies because they're trying to divert their energy into doing something that won't draw attention to them, right? That won't put them into the spotlight, so then they have to become that better person inside their life. Boom, there you go. That's right off the top of my head. I'm going to say that, and then I'm going to see what throwback I get from that. How do you feel about hobbies? If you were to force yourself, like if someone's like, "Oh, you don't do enough hobbying or enough things outside of your business," what would you say to that?
I'd be like, well, I don't really need an extensive list of hobbies to really fill any void in particular. It's just, I like that free time of just maybe chilling and sitting down. And I think we're all different. Some people like to have super rigid time and schedules in their calendar. Like, I'll do this and this time, this and this time. And they like to have super packed, fast-paced, busy days. I'm not like that. For me, it's kind of like I'll work a few hours, and then for the rest of the day, I want to be free to do whatever I want.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And hey, that might change over time. Right? That might change over time. If, you know, you and your good man talk about having children, I said it. He said it. Oh my God. You know, that might change. You know, it definitely does. You know, I can definitely reflect back and go back a few years and think about how easy it used to be to leave the house in comparison to now. And the things you used to be able to do, like watching Netflix undisturbed and, you know, just wandering around in your underwear without anybody, you know, interrupting you unpolitely. Hannah, amazing. So towards the end, and I really appreciate you sharing everything and just, you know, just being yourself. I feel very relaxed right now, just talking with you. And I'm sure, you know, our listeners and watchers are, you know, absorbing your great energy. I always take everybody through my Quickfire Questions. Okay. So I'm going to fire 10 questions at you. I just want you to answer instinctively, you know, off the top of your head. There's some weird stuff in there. But, you know, once you've had a shower in flip-flops, nothing's weird anymore, right? All right, so quick fire question number 1. What is your favorite swear word?
Fuck.
Say it a bit louder. Fuck! Awesome. Quick fire question number 2. What is your biggest turn on?
When a guy has ambition and actually like does the thing to get what he wants instead of sitting down, watching Netflix, eating snacks the entire day.
Nice. Like it. So a masculine rolled male.
Yeah, you can say.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah, he wakes up with purpose. He knows what he's going after and he goes and gets it.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom. Neanderthal. I like it. Quickfire question number 3. What sound or noise do you absolutely love?
The sound of my nails like tapping on my phone. I'm going to show you like this. People hate that, but I like it. Look, people hate that. I really like that.
That's nice. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I like that. I can definitely see the appeal in that. Like that, there's almost like a rhythm to it. And I like the hollow sound of the nails on the iPhone glass. I like it. I appreciate that one. Quick, and if you're not able to watch this and you're only listening right now, she just picked her iPhone up and just ran her lovely pink nails across it. Yeah, you need to watch this. Quick fire question number 4. What was the last meal that you would eat before you died?
Pizza, but super, super good quality pizza, like gourmet pizza. And a massive chocolate lava cake, like chocolate cake with molten warm chocolate on the inside.
This turned into a food porn podcast. Love it. Quick fire question number 5. What is your favorite perfume or / cologne that you love to smell on others?
For women, I really like YSL Opium, which is so popular. It's like a sweet type of smell. And then for males, I actually like anything that's like Axe related or, links or Axe.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, people think it's like a male version of basic bitch stuff, but I like that smell.
Like it. Yeah, that takes me back to like the locker rooms at school and stuff. Everyone used to take like a tin of Lynx and just like shower in a can, boys, shower in a can. Yeah, I love it. So that's the you see, I've just taken you straight back to school times and walking past the male locker rooms. That's exactly what I've just done for you there. Great stuff. And the opium, yeah, that's something that my own mother has worn for a lot of years. So I know the smell very well, very, very well. Quick fire question number 6. What is the last gift that you bought someone?
A pair of sneakers from, I think it was like Fred Perry sneakers, yeah.
Sexy. Who were they for?
My boyfriend.
Ah.
They were on the wrong side. Yeah, they were on the wrong side, so I returned them, and that was that.
You need to examine each other's feet more often, right? Awesome. As long as he knows your shoe size, that is important for when he goes and gets your what's your favorite shoe? You can tell him now.
I like sneakers.
There you go.
I'm a sneakers kind of girl. Not like
nice.
I like heels, but I like sneakers more.
Yeah, like Jordans and things like that.
Well, just like yeah, and I like Adidas, plain, simple, everyday type of thing.
Sweet. Come on, boy, get some sneakers in. Quick fire question number 7. Are you an early riser or are you a night owl?
I'm a night owl, but I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to wake up earlier, sleep later. It's hard in winter though.
Yeah.
Hard in winter.
Yeah, it's a hard swing. I believe I used to be, in my younger years, I used to be like a late owl, and get up later, sort of 10, 11 o'clock and things like that if I had the opportunity. But then thrown in at the deep end, been in the military, and also my stepfather was British police. He was very good at getting up early, and then I got very good at getting up at sort of 4:30 a.m., I was in the military. So that's how I swung, basically, just from going through 12 weeks of really intense, like, hey, you have to get up early, otherwise you're going to lose your career. That's what turned me around. Great. Quick fire question number 8. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Tea. Awesome. What type of tea?
English breakfast with loads of milk. And the water goes in first, not the milk. People
yes.
First, but...
Oh, yes. I knew we'd get along. So yeah, if you're going to make a cup of tea, people, don't be banging the milk in on top of the bag. What's all that about? Don't cool your water down before it's had a chance to brew it. You're just strange. There you go. The Yorkshireman coming out of me. Awesome. Quick fire question number 9. Your favourite place in the world?
London. Love London. Central London, in the city, just like walking around St. Paul's when the sun's shining.
You love just taking the city in, don't you?
Yeah, I'm the opposite of you. You love the countryside.
Hey, Yin and yang. It's all good. Awesome. So London, quickfire question number 10, last one. Have we seen your best yet?
No, definitely not. I don't think so.
Yeah, and I would 100% agree with that from talking to you today.
Yeah.
Great.
2 years. I might be a life coach, as you predict.
Who knows? Who knows what the journey is? That's the fun part about it, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes there is the controlling side of where you're like you're pushed to go down a certain path, but then there are times when you shouldn't be white knuckle riding the whole time, like forcing it to go down. Sometimes on the roller coaster, you just kind of need to put your arms up and just enjoy the ups and downs. And maybe you're sick over the side a few times, and maybe the person's spit in front goes in your eye. That's just part of the fun. Yeah, that's just part of the fun. Hannah, it's been genuinely a real pleasure, having you on and talking to you, and letting everyone else know a little bit more about you and your personal stuff and what you stand for in life and about your amazing business. Yeah. Is there anything else that you'd love to share with everybody before we stop the red light flashing?
You know what? I think it's amazing to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. Had such a nice time doing this podcast.
Yeah. Ditto. Likewise, honestly, and here's to maybe doing some future projects together as well. I've got a few of the places where people can find you. Do you want to let people know where they can find out more about you and a couple of the cool places?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. My handle is HannahChan921, and then Facebook, same HannahChan but 0921.
Awesome. So 21st of September, there's the giveaway. That's her birthday. Does that make you a Virgo?
Yes.
Look at that. Look at this metrosexual man. I know all this stuff. Brilliant. So HannahChan921 for Instagram, HannahChan0921. I'll put all of this stuff in the show notes and descriptions. And if Hannah's got any other links and stuff where you can find or read about her, I'll also drop those in there too. Hannah, lovely having you on. Thanks so much. And everybody, thanks for listening and watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.